Welcome back to Sailing Merryweather, guys. My name's Kieran and today we are doing a boat tour on a Hanse 63. This is one of the more beautiful boats I've been on in a long time, and you're going to meet the owners of this boat, Diane and Andrew. I hope you enjoy it. I had a pleasure filming it.
My name's Diane.
And I'm Andrew.
We're from Toronto, Canada. Family of 4. We have 2 daughters, one aged almost 14 and the other one's 15.
This is a Hanse 63. It was built in 2012. This is our 3rd boat, and by the time you get to your 3rd boat you pretty much know what you'd like to have in a boat. And by now we wanted to have a boat that had a flush deck. We wanted a boat that had great presence at anchor and in the marina, and we wanted some elbow room, so couches that were full-size couches. We wanted some domestic amenities, you know, things like washer and dryer and dishwasher, freezer, things that we could stay on board pretty much indefinitely and be independent and self-sustainable. We also wanted something that performed well. I'm pretty competitive, so I like the sight of cars in my rear view mirror and boats that we're gaining on, so that's why we selected the boat. Okay, welcome to Vivendi, our 63-foot semi-custom boat. We're going to show you the ins and outs of the boat. So we've got a windlass recessed in here as well, and the anchor arm reclines in here when not in use, so there's a flush bow of the boat and it looks pretty slick and good for racing as well. The cleats recline as well. This was a little added sexy accessory. The furlings are electric furlings. There is a Genoa in the front, and the furling is recessed under the deck, as well as there is a staysail with an electric furler as well. Both are furlegs, different models, but pretty much the same type. And we also have a mooring winch here for MedStar mooring, so when you have a bow line it comes up and then you can tighten your bow. We frequently have a captain on board, and this is where he stays. There is a head there, a bunk, as well as a... We've also installed these chocks for our tender. They're fully removable. They're made of teak, so they blend in with the rest of the boat, but they can come off and then there's nothing there. So there are 2 sails in the front. One is the Genoa, about 105%, and the fairleads are here, and adjustable fairleads, as you can see. And then there is a staysail, which is a self-tucking staysail, and the traveler for it is over here. Okay, one of the features of this boat is all the lines are recessed under the coach roof. So from the mast back to the helm station, there are no lines in the cockpit or on top of the coach roof. So it's kind of a neat, clean look of the boat. This is one of the big boat features. We never had it on our previous boats. These are tensioners for the halyards. On both sides there's a Genoa halyard as well as the mainsail halyard. And basically the halyard ends here, and there's a system here where you tension the halyard at the foot of the mast. So from a safety point of view, we've got a 8-person life raft here, and there's quite a few hydraulics on the boat. So the mainsail is operated by a hydraulic furling, and there's a hydraulic boom vang, or kicker as British call it. There's a hydraulic backstay adjustment, as well as a hydraulic platform in the back. The rigging is rod rigging. It's supposed to wire. And one of the things we've learned when we bought the boat is every 5 to 6 years this rigging needs servicing, so it had to be removed, x-rayed and non-destructive tested, which is a bit of an undertaking, but it's got to be done for insurance. So these are running backstays, and when they're used, they basically feed off at the back, and there's a winch that's dedicated to them, and they're used when we're using the staysail. The staysail ends 2/3 of the way up the mast, and that's where they start, so they support the staysail 2 ways up the mast and give it good tension. So we've got these panels here at the helm station, and we've reconfigured them completely and laid it out properly. But one of the things that we've installed, it's called the C-Zone, and we installed a panel here, and this allows us to have different settings. And for instance, we're right now in a day setting, so everything is set up in a boat where the electric pump is running and fridges are on, all the switches are active. But what is disconnected right now are all the winches, for instance, and the furlings and all the electronics. So for instance here, another mode is when we go sailing, and we have a boating mode, and when we press that boating mode, the boat automatically reconfigures itself for sailing. So now the anchor windlass is on, the mooring winch that we looked at before is on, all the furlers are on, all the instruments are on now, and boat is basically in a ready to sail condition. And just by pressing one button, everything reconfigured itself. One of the big surprises with this boat was how easy it is to dock it in a marina. My great fear was that a boat this size, it'd be a challenge, but this has a stern thruster as well as a bow thruster, both retractable, and those thrusters basically move the boat sideways. So docking is the simplest thing of any boat, including a little dinghy. Down here is a giant lazarette, or a small garage, however you want to reference it. And as you can imagine, we've got a lot of spares here, but we also have some water toys, inflatables, cushions, things of that nature. And the water maker is in there, and the water maker does about 80-90 liters per hour. And we have 2 tanks for fresh water. They're 350 liters each, so we've got 700 liters of fresh water. We've got 4 electric winches, 2 of which are controlled from the panel, so I'll just give you a little sense for it. There's a fast and a slow setting, so you can the winch on the other side, for instance, as even if you're helming from the opposite side. And then you've got 3 sails that are controlled from the panel. There's the Genoa, there's the staysail, as well as the mainsail. They have a setting in and out, so furl, unfurl. And then you have your navigation, you've got all your instruments, depth, wind, etc. You've got your thrusters. All that is mirrored on both sides. And this one has the throttle, and that one has the C-Zone. The marine radio VHF is on that side, the engine start is on this side. And what we've installed, for safety, we've got these kill switches that are underneath the panels. And it's a big button that disables everything. So if some hell broke loose and a button got stuck, for instance, which can happen, it's never happened, but it can happen, you just reach over and you press that button and it disables all the electricals. These are kind of interesting. These are chocks when you helming. You kind of go like this. The boat is on its heel, you're like, Okay, and then we have controls for the passerelle here, so it allows it to come out, also known as a gangplank. When you're moored stern to in a marina, it allows you to board and get off the boat easy. And one of the great things is the cockpit in this boat. The seats, benches are full length, so you can lie down, you can stretch out. And it stays away from all the working sections on the boat, so even when you're underway, if you don't want to participate in the activity, you can just detach and enjoy the view.
Welcome down below on Vivendi. She's a really comfortable interior space, and though we like to be outside most of the time, when we're down below, it's a very lovely place to be. So the galley is definitely very usable. It kind of feels like a tiny condo down below here, and I would say that the galley / kitchen is definitely of that ilk. We are totally outfitted with anything that we would actually have at home. So we have a microwave here, and we'll pull that out, a little Nespresso maker, stove, oven. So those are sort of the basic cooking features. Then when we get into refrigeration, we have a wine fridge down here. We also have a 2-drawer fridge, which is really handy because you can do a good job of organizing food. Every time you open and close a fridge, warm air gets in, so you want to minimize people hunting around for things. So we've got a great organization of the food. So basically the drawers just come right out. Cabinets are really easy to work with. They all have quite ample amount of room. these cupboards just slide open. So it's really helpful for when you're underway to put food in here that's readily accessible, especially for you know, snacks on an overnight passage. Another really great feature is that we have a washer dryer. To be honest, we have not figured out how to use the dryer part, but the washer is simply fantastic. It holds a lot more than I would have expected. And again, because we're outside in this beautiful weather, it's easy enough just to hang clothes afterwards. Over here we have a deep freezer, and this one is generally set around -15, so it keeps everything really well frozen, which is great whenever we do a big provisioning run. So there's phenomenal storage on this boat. All of these seats, while they are full-size couches, they hold an enormous amount of equipment underneath. So this is organized with medical and safety. And then underneath all of these couches, we have food and drinks as well. Food in all of those compartments. And here we've got things like cruising guides, books, and lots of toys, games, puzzles, things to keep us busy. So here's the master cabin, very comfortable. You'll notice that it is a lateral bed, which actually opens up the room quite a bit and allows for this love seat. Again, there's storage underneath here. Here we've got linens, beach blankets and towels, as well as yoga mats. It's really, really airy and light in here. You can't feel it, but there's a beautiful cool breeze coming in. So it's definitely a very comfortable cabin. There's a nice little section here, which is either a workspace, or I guess it could be a makeup table. You know, again, lots of storage here, bookshelves. So lots of storage for clothes. These are all drawers that open up. And then to make it really easy for sailing, you only have to lock one. Over here, we've got a nice hanging locker with ample room for clothes, shoes, the drone. And just to make it really homey, we have our disco ball, which is fantastic when it's a full moon. It shines in under the stars. We've got beautiful light inside too. So it's a great sized head. There's a full walk-in shower. The head is electric, and lots of storage underneath here, up here, and you can, you know, really make it comfortable because there's great shelving area. So this is one of the two aft cabins. This is our elder daughter's room. So she's decorated it the way she thinks is kind of special and neat. The beds are convertible, so you can have them set up as either one full queen, or the middle section comes out, and you'll see in our other daughter's cabin, she has it set up right now as two twins. So that's great because if you have guests, you know, maybe a friend on a sleepover, you can set it up as two twins, or, you know, it's a great full-size bed. And there's plenty of storage room back here. So there's a hanging locker, a number of shelves, and then also all along here is great for school books, toys, anything else that they find along the way and want to bring home. So over here is the head for this cabin. Again, a walk-in shower, a nice full-size sink, electric head, and lots of shelves. Really great compartments so that it's easy to put things away when it's time to go for a sail. This is our other daughter's cabin. It's a mirror image of the cabin that we just walked through, but you'll notice here that it's set up as two singles, and this piece basically comes out, this pulls forward, and then that piece slides right in, and that's how you convert it over into a queen. This is the nav station. We've got C-Zone right here, so we can actually monitor and control everything on the boat, everything from lights to bilge pumps. So this is the on-off for the water maker. It's very simple, it's just a press of a button. And then we have all of our bilge pumps up at the top, so if any bilge pump were to go off, we would know right away which one it is. We have 7 bilge pumps. We actually added additional ones because we just think that that's an important safety feature. So this Raymarine gives us a readout for anybody that's down below, what our speed is. It's got all the charts on here, so we can figure out time to destination, etc., etc. And if you pop this open, that's where we turn on the generator.
Yeah, it's an interesting story how we got into sailing and how we got the interest in sailing. I used to windsurf in my teens, and one day I was on a windsurfer and a big storm came. It was unexpected, and I caught myself out maybe 3-4 miles offshore along with maybe 50 others, and the storm was so big that we just couldn't get the sails up and we couldn't sail back in. And a sailboat came by and asked me whether I needed a rescue, and I was confident I would get rescued by the authorities, and there was a Coast Guard running and bringing people back, but I couldn't resist the offer. And the big eureka moment for me was when I got on board, got my board-on boat. One of the people asked me whether I wanted coffee, whether I wanted to warm up, I wanted a blanket, because I had been in the water at that point for about an hour. And I said yes. And, you know, I got warmed up and I was drinking a coffee, and I was being brought back to shore with an engine, not under sail, and I decided right there and then on the spot that that was the way of life, and that was what I wanted to do. Forget the windsurfing, I'm going into yachting. And since then, you know, took a number of courses, and progressively we rented boats, first with captains and then without captains, without crew, and built enough confidence to go into the Caribbean. And then one day, about 15 years ago, the economics allowed us to buy our first boat. And at that point we knew we made the right decision, and then first boat led into a second boat, and second boat led into a third boat.
Thank you very much for taking your time to learn about our story on the sea.
And thanks to Kieran and Isabel for allowing us to share our story. They're a great couple, and I'm sure this is a great channel.
Cheers, perfect.
Watch more, start.
Like and subscribe. If you're new around here, well, leave a like anyway. Restart it. Take 2. Like. Make sure to like the video, and if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. Take 4. Like and subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite animal is. And like and subscribe, and comment down below what's your favorite animal. And please stay tuned. Cheer.
Oh, yes.
That was one.
Yes, yes.